Shalom to the elect. Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yashai, Bishop Kodash, giving double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who well and teach well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shem Yahweh is a mob from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp. Coming with another week lesson, Salak, and again, some of these different lessons that I've been doing have not been recording properly when it goes to the audio. So you'll have the visual totally fine, but the audio not being on. So, I need to probably find a better way to display the audio so that I can know that it actually is being recorded. If brothers kind of acquainted with this software, do give some advice. If anything, I'll try to look on my own. But you have it here, Day of Wrath, 500 illegals lose it as Trump bans third world migrants. All right, and as I had went into Trump, speaking very, very cruel and harsh words against the migrants and those whom they see as criminals. Okay, which here's one statement. And we cannot allow all these people to invade our country. When somebody comes in, we must immediately, with no judges or court cases, bring them from where they came. Our system is a mockery to good immigration policy and law and order. Most children come without parents. And, you can go into it, right? He has a demand, and he put this way back in June of 2018. Okay? And he has a zero tolerance policy that he had, right? Which aggressively enforces 1965 law that made illegal entry into U.S. a federal misdemeanor. But, things are becoming beyond that, okay? Because people are being swooped up, put on, various vessels, and shipped out, and just not even turning up anymore. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to reattempt to bring out some information I had in this lesson, and go from there. But Slock.
President Trump just banned migrants from a whole
I've got some breaking news coming in.
Donald
Trump says he will pause all migration to the US from the third world. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the US system to fully recover, terminate all the millions of Biden illegal admissions.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came in on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here. And you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
Damn. So, Near 47 is coming with some great rhetoric, okay? And that's with this fourth beast. This fourth beast is, obviously unlike any of the other beasts before. Okay, this being a emergence of the Roman Empire. All right, that deadly wound that was healed. Okay, and as we have it with the left and the right, things have occurred. Okay, which they're saying, okay, Democrats let people enter into this country, and now the Republicans have to now reverse what damage has been done. That system is written here in the scriptures, and it's identified. Revelation 13:11, and I beheld another beast, being America, come out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, and with this beast, okay, you're seeing definitely the new legislation and also the new enforcement. Okay. That draconian way, okay, where a person, and now just because of their nation, and also because of what they may even say, or if it's just not for what the Shashua Adawam Esau's operation, modus operation. I'm gonna give. He's getting rid of you, okay? Because they don't want those that are useless for this country anymore. All right, they're gonna cut off all the programs, and immigrants not be able to receive different benefits from these programs anymore. Okay, which is, as they would say, costing American tax dollars, and that's just that. Okay. And pardon the noise in the background. All right, because he's pausing the different movements or immigration. Okay, he's pausing all of that. Okay, to third world countries, right? So I'm gonna continue on. Okay. And the two horns, as we know, is the different major political parties, the Democrats and Republicans, right? Which they have come, that we can come to this country, you can seek asylum, you can, of course, get your status and legally come to this country, and we'll be able to protect you, and you can, become a individual that support our economy and not a criminal. You're perfectly fine being here, but now you're seeing, they don't want any presence of you being here. Okay, and that's just plain. All right. He's called different nationalities, people, and criminals. Okay. And they're definitely bold with it. All right. So, I'm gonna go more. And it says, and he exercised all power of the first beast, the ancient Roman Empire, before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay. So brought out Daniel's the 7th chapter as well, I believe. And it's Daniel chapter 7 and 19. It says, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others. This would be the Roman Empire. All right. Which was diverse from all the others. Okay. The various beasts. Okay. Exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, which that iron allowed them to conquer these various vassals, okay, barbarians, etc., and make them tributaries. And his nails of brass, which devour and break in pieces and stamp the residue with his feet. Okay, and all of these other nations had to become underneath the Roman rule. Okay, because of the superiority in weaponry. Okay, the ability that iron is more superior than the weapons of the other nations. And that sword was used, the Roman legions, and took and made these different nations slaves, and basically servitory to them. Okay, and that's what America do is that they, with the new reemergence of the Roman Empire, do NATO and the EU. Okay, the beast. Okay, the woman that ride upon the scarlet colored beast being America. All right. And the 10 horns, the European, of course, common markets, okay, which are the the European Union of today, okay, which is beyond the 10, but go back to, those nations that, other nations have broke off and become their own little independent countries, but they go back to a 10, okay. And of the other which came up, and before whom three fell, all right, which we go back to the inception of America and such, too, with the French, the British, and the Spanish, even of the horn that had eyes, right, and a mouth that spake great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, all right. And this through America is definitely different, okay. Definitely different, okay. And you can just read on your own, okay. Daniel chapter 7, right, and 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, all right, America, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Because behold, in this horn were the eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things. Okay, and you are now being accused of being a criminal just for your nation of origin. Okay, and your status, whether it's legal or not, is basically compromised.
Wow. He's letting him have
There's a
it.
law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they
Wow.
came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked. There were many of them.
And then you had this recent, man of Afghan origin that did work with the, United States Central Intelligence Agency, okay, for, they say, at least 10 years. He came into this country using these programs that allow them to come in this country, and also beyond being vetted, okay, whether they say they have been heavy vetted, but then when you go into it, a lot of these people have come into these countries, these Arabs and such, and even with the open door, with they say with the Biden era, okay, have entered into this country, and they don't know who these people are, apparently. So they're just gonna reverse all of that.
came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them,
Really?
so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in.
And this is all happening against the backdrop of the recent attack in D.C.
Officials saying the suspect, Ramanullah Lakanwar,
Wow. this guy-
Sound like ramen noodles.
cross country and deliberately targeted the 2 guardsmen
He drove across
as they
the
stood
country.
outside a busy
Bellingham, Washington.
D.C. metro station.
Man, this is
One
terrible.
guardsman is struck, goes down, and then the shooter leans over and strikes the guardsman again.
Terrible.
Another guardsman is struck several times.
And
And
this is all as we go into from democracy being spread across the world. Okay, so now we got, as we have these different individuals, what most people deem as a potential tease. Okay, they have been brought over here, and they actually are doing things that are bringing harm to the individuals in the country, to the guardsmen, in which they want out to bring order and safety to these different cities. Now you have the narrative as, we have to ban these people from being here, are immigrating here, and they've been brought here, and as we went into, due to military conquest by America, okay, by Babylon the Great. So you have a bunch of confusion that's going on, okay, and your status, you coming to America to seek a better life because your country is a third world, which America profits off a lot of these third world countries that are deemed shite holes by, your Nero 47, because remember that. You call different nations, like El Salvador, Haiti, shite hole, countries. Okay?
Using vulgar language, President Trump today questioned why the United States would allow people from Haiti and Africa into the country, describing those places using an expletive while suggesting people from Norway might be more acceptable.
Right, more Edomites.
He reportedly made the comments during a White House meeting with a bipartisan group of senators. The White House tonight is not denying the president made the remarks. And we want you to know our report includes that expletive once so that you can hear the complete quote for yourself. And of course, it may not be appropriate for some of our younger viewers. NBC's Peter Alexander has details.
The president tonight apparently uncorking another astonishing statement, complaining to lawmakers in the Oval Office about protections for immigrants. Why do we want these people from, quote, all these shithole countries here? According to a Democratic aide familiar with the conversation, Mr. Trump was referring to African nations and Haiti before suggesting the U.S. should have more people from places like Norway, whose prime minister he met yesterday. A White House.
So, this is what they want. He wants to be here to himself, and those that are you Israelites, and of anything that is of his opposition, he don't want here. Okay, simple as that. You're criminals and seen as a danger, a potential danger. Okay, despite the fact that these people were brought over, in different ways. All right, to this country, given by the permission of them. Okay. Remember, somebody is at the border and somebody can open and close it, okay? At the ports in which they have them heavily surveilled, etc.
The young lady
is an
apparently
Afghan
is no
national
longer
who
with
came
us.
to the
Very
United
sad.
States in 2021 and lives in Bellingham, Washington. He's facing 3 counts of assault with intent to all armed. FBI Director Kash Patel saying search warrants were carried out overnight at the suspect's home
they
in
raided his
Washington
home.
State.
During that process, we seized numerous electronic devices to include cell phones, laptops, iPads, and other material that is being analyzed as we speak.
Officials say Lackenwall worked for the U.S. government in Afghanistan for a decade, including the CIA, working as a member of a partner force there. Sources telling ABC News he was a trusted member of his unit.
Wow. So he...
a trusted member of a unit used by the United States government for a bureaucracy of the United States government, and has hurt people that live and work for the United States government, okay? That are supposed to be protecting this government, okay? I think that's insane. But right now, what we're seeing is a lot of the exposure of this government, and it's falling, and we can clearly see what is going to be the end all be all of it, okay, which is the M-law, the patrolling of the troops in the streets, all right, and the complete surveillance and the enforcement on the citizens, okay? Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. America, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no be called tender and delicate. All right. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai has it where he's going to come to remove the rulership of the Edomites, okay, themselves, okay, of this power structure, okay. hey, those of the highest, wisest people of the Chaldeans are your luminaries, okay, which are within your government, okay. These different rulers are within various forms of secret societies in which they participate in occult forms of knowledge, secret knowledge, and they control the people with the spells in which they cast upon you to believe the different narratives, okay? Because when you go into it, you know, you have other nationalities outside of Israelites that are what? Being brought to this country by the United States and are actually, you know, doing different things, right, in this country. And the government knows of, you know, different potential things that go down, okay? In certain cases, what is the point of these different entities in its science for if, you know, these things are to be able to go down, okay? You know, why is it weaker, becoming weaker? Take millstones, the millstone, and grind the mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. The Lord is coming back in an angelic fashion with the rest of the host of the angels, in the vessels known as UFOs, okay, which he's coming to conquer, okay, and subdue the nations, but the head being Esau Edom, okay. Check it out.
He might be more than somebody who just decided to do something one day.
Part of a Biden administration program that evacuated and resettled tens of thousands of Afghans.
That's crazy.
Blackenwell applied for asylum in 2024 and was granted it in April 2025.
So he got everything he wanted from America.
According to 3 law enforcement sources.
He was given asylum.
That worked with the U.S. military or CIA that comes to the United States is heavily vetted to get their special immigrant visa status.
Heavily vetted.
Come to the United
really?
States.
Of those that are evacuated, how many of them were vetted before they got on the plane?
Good question.
Senator, it is our policy to vet.
That's a simple question. How many of them were vetted before they got on the plane?
Why doesn't he want to answer this question?
Out of Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Cannot speak to that, but it is our policy.
What do you mean I
So
can't
you
speak
can't
to
tell
that?
us how many people were vetted before they got on the plane to come to America.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you're speaking of the plane to come to America, let me, if I may, Senator, explain
I feel
the
like
process.
this guy's not
because
being truthful.
we, working with our
We know
allies,
now that
Okay,
he
here's
was.
a question.
No, he's
Very
talking.
simple. Those that got on the plane,
for America, it is our policy to
please
vet-
listen to my question.
I apologize.
To those who got on the C-17s and other planes, how many of them were vetted before they got on
Right.
the plane
Easy question.
by American officials?
To the United States, it is our policy to vet and screen 100% of them.
So 100% of those people that
We
got
should
on
have
the
seen
plane
this
were
coming.
vetted.
This is
That's your
terrible.
testimony under oath.
It is our policy to do so.
That's not, I don't care what your policy is. I'm asking how many people were vetted before they got on the plane. Do you know the answer?
Senator,
If you don't know, just say I don't know.
This is a huge problem we are having in America. Blah, blah, blah. And it's everywhere. And people.
that was not fully aborted, not know if it,
Troops are out there to solve.
FYI, not everything is
Tell that to the people who hate
Senator,
him.
I do not know if anyone boarded a plane that was not fully screened and vetted.
Can you tell me that all the people that got on the
This is
plane
crazy.
were vetted
Absolutely, I can tell
They
you
don't know who got on
that
the plane.
all of the individuals,
before they got on the plane?
if I may, Senator, all of the individuals who arrived in the United States
Okay.
have been screened. And
That's
vetted.
not, listen, I'm not trying to
By
trick
who?
you. I'm trying to ask a simple
He's just
question.
asking about the plane.
We've had thousands of people that got on C-17s and flew out of the most chaotic situation I've seen since the fall of Saigon. And I'm asking you, before they got on the plane, how many of them were vetted by the United States? Can you tell me what percentage?
Senator, I would posit.
He's not even playing
People
God.
coming over here anxious, tired and stuff. You know?
I confirm this, that well over 99% of them were fully screened
Over
Yeah,
99%.
but you let 1% in?
vetted before they boarded a flight.
Okay.
If, in fact, any of...
Where do you get that information from?
May I, Senator?
Sure.
If, in
99%.
fact, they were not,
Over
they were
99.
screened and vetted while in flight...
You do know you're under oath.
Doesn't care.
Are you telling this committee
Doesn't care.
under oath that 99% of the people who got on these planes in Afghanistan were vetted by our government before they got on that plane?
I want to be very clear because precision...
Because you're not.
No. Senator, if I may.
This is terrible.
You are asking me about planes from transit countries, the third country...
I'm talking about people who got on the plane in Kabul airport.
No, I can't speak to that.
Well, that's okay. Good.
How did we not see this coming? What a disaster that has been created for our country. What a national security nightmare we're now all just waking up to as it's unfolding in our nation's capital. This is awful. And why is CNN blaming the National Guard members for what happened?
And so you just got it where, this country, they deem it to be so safe, but you have it where people that were, as they have it, not safe, had the ability to be into this country and are in this country. So you have it where you got the problem, the action, and reaction, and the solution. Okay? To bring the order out of chaos. Okay? Simple. Alright? Easy playbook and such. So, the scriptures tell us never to trust thine enemy. All right, we see how they are moving and such. Get that Sirach real quick. Thankfully to the Lord, we can see throughout the confusions as dragons. All right, serpents on the right hand side. Okay, and when we have that view, we can see, the different shameful spewing on this man's glory. All right, it's Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusted soeth his wickedness. All right, though he humble himself and go crouching, you do that a lot with this democracy. All right, going into these countries, waging war. Okay, claiming, of course, to bring liberation to the people that are under tyrant and evil rule. But then these people, the countries have been destroyed, and then the people are now displaced. But then these people that have so much pain and might have certain views and ideology against US are now like what? They're pointed as being the enemy too. All right, in the face of it. Okay. So who's the enemy? Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as though thou wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. He's the same old E. All right. And many people have trusted in the words of E. Do these different leaders they so-called claim they elect and vote for and support, give financial support to. Okay, it's all falling apart. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And this man ain't satisfied. All right, man, coming hard. You got it. 500 illegals lose it as Trump bans third world migrants. If your country is considered a third world, all right, compared to this golden world here that extracts the resources from these different countries and sells them, okay, here, okay, they import these things into this country and sell them and profit off of them. And it's called a third world in a shite hole country, and you are a criminal, okay? you was a farmer, but now you're a criminal. The confusion is here, so Hey, this ain't the originally intended lesson, but we are subject to our power, Yahweh Shemal Shai. So we gotta bring out what the Lord wants, and hey, we can't quench the spirit, and we have to cover the prophesy. So this is a quick little lesson through the spirit. I hit some more that I didn't get to do because it didn't properly record. Shalom to you, like.